BBAU for sharing her views on the theme. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rashida. Good morning to the chief guest of the program, Professor S.K. Bhatnagar, sir, Vice Chancellor, NLU, Lucknow. Very warm morning to the keynote speaker, Professor Antonita Elia from University of Santiago de Compostela, Spain. And good afternoon to the special guest, Dr. Sasalina Kamaruddin from Sultan Idris Education University, Malaysia. Good morning to all our Indian participants, guests, colleagues, students, scholars, and the organizers from our department for this international conference, Professor Priti Mishra, Professor Shashi Kumar, and Dr. Rashida Athar. The conference on advancement of human rights in 21st century. So first of all, I must congratulate you all on this auspicious day, that is the International Human Rights Day. The theme, as has already been told, is for the year equality. Equality that has to reduce the inequalities and that has to advance the human rights. So this is a human right-based approach to development, a way that is to achieve not only equality, but leads to the inclusion and non-discrimination. Now, in 21st century, the theme is equality. Now, with this reference to equality, just a week ago, you see that the BJP member from Kerala, that is KJ Alphonse, he moved the motion in the upper house to amend the preamble to the Constitution of India. We all know that's the supreme law of the land. Why? To introduce some of the words and to replace some of the words in the preamble to the Constitution of India. And that bill of 2021 that seeks to replace the word socialist with the word equitable in the preamble. And it also seeks to change the words equality of status and of opportunity to equality of status and of opportunity to be born, to be fed, to be educated, to get the job, and to be treated with dignity. The 20th century declaration we are commemorating today and every year. We are here to discuss on the human rights in 21st century. So talking of equality, reducing inequalities, advancing human rights in 21st century, that is the first quarter is about to complete in just 2 to 3 years. The amendment proposal seeks the rights like education, food, work, and dignity. So we need to introspect how we can achieve equality and why we couldn't till now. Further, this bill also proposes adding access to information technology and happiness as the objectives. So to me, it seems that this century is for emerging technologies and technological solutions too, like blockchain, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. And these are the growing areas which have also some effects on our human rights. We need to advance ourselves in these areas to enjoy the different rights with the help of technology. Just like you see that we use so many gadgets, be it a laptop, smartphones, smartwatches, and so many other things which we are using because these have been developed through the technologies in which we upgrade these softwares. We need to upgrade our human rights too to meet the challenges of this century. Our 20th century written, declared human rights need constant updating. Updating to keep the pace with time, updating to come up and to meet the challenges of the modern time. And our human rights law that can be applied in changing circumstances. So this century human rights are technological, environmental, and cooperative. The rapid development of science and technology has had a remarkable impact on the human rights. And it can be witnessed that scientific technologies that have been developed through different industrial revolutions also. I'm not going into detail because I want to listen the speakers from abroad, but they are growing with rapid pace. We all know this thing. And you see that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which speaks about everyone's right, that everyone has a right to share the scientific advancements and its benefits. So we should think of the human rights to have the free broadband, to have the free internet, the human rights to the technological information. We should think of the human rights to technological development. We should think of, because of this COVID scenario, what we are following, observing now, the human right to online education, the human right against the forced choices, which every user of the technology faces through artificial intelligence. We are just forced to, if you are clicking one of the items, then that types of the information you will be getting always when you are using any of your gadget. So the human right against these forced choices of the others, which every user of the technology we are facing, like the human rights to participate in the e-governance, the human rights against the use of those technologies which are polluting environment, both physically and mentally. Then we can also think of the human rights to justice. It's not only access to justice, justice is a very vast term. So we can think in respect to the technology, in respect to the environment, in respect of the cooperative society, in respect of the other social, cultural, and educational and political scenario also. In that respect, we can think of the human right to justice, to participate more and more. And many more rights we can think of which are required, and which are required not only to be included, incorporated, but to be upgraded, which we couldn't exercise due to the pandemic, as we were not prepared for. So the rights which are existing in this UDHR and other international instruments, those are also required to be upgraded, so as to meet the challenges of 21st century. So I think that human rights need to be upgraded. They are to be advanced to meet the emerging changes and challenges both. And therefore, I think that the topic which has been chosen by the organizing committee is very apt, germane, in today's scenario when we are facing this COVID pandemic. And in that way, what rights we are having, what rights we could enjoy, what rights we couldn't enjoy, what upgradation is required, what advancements are required. Those are the important points which need to be discussed in this international conference. And I suppose that in the coming technical session in this international conference, the participants, the delegates, they must be throwing light on these various aspects on the human rights. And with these words, I once again congratulate you all and wish a grand success of this international conference. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your views.